Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're going to stick with our Prince Andrew theme here. And I guess Prince Andrew's team has clapped back and said that Prince Andrew is he's shocked by this statement by Mr. Berman. He had no idea the FBI wanted to talk to him. Nobody ever contacted his team. Well, I highly doubt that. And there's an article here from the New York Post that we're going to jump into in a second, and they're going to go into that. The headline of the article is Prince Andrew bewildered by claims he wouldn't help FBI's Epstein probe. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the article is going to be talking about. But really, the question comes down to this, folks, at this point. Do you believe Prince Andrew, or do you believe Virginia Roberts? It's really that simple. All this other stuff is grandstanding. Unless Andrew goes and speaks with the FBI and goes on record and goes under oath and all of that jazz, everything he does is just white noise. Everything he does is just obfuscation. Everything he does is throwing more of a shadow over things. He doesn't want to come forth. He doesn't want to be forthright. He doesn't want to give the truth. If he did, he would have already come forward. You don't need to huddle with a team of legal advisors if you're an innocent man. You go and talk to one lawyer. You talk to the lawyer about what the procedure is. The lawyer sits in with you as you have your little chat, and you move on with your life. You don't drag it out like this. You don't keep it going. You don't show no compassion for the survivors of the attacks. You don't do the things that this man has done, okay? This man has been nothing but disingenuous. This man has done nothing but lie. And this man has done nothing but drag his already sullen name through the mud. So for Prince Andrew to act like he's bewildered, well, let me take a step back. We all know he's bewildered about life, right? You just look at the guy and he's a dullard, an absolute buffoon. The George W. Bush of the Mountbatten-Windsor family. We all know that. But at the same time, for him to think that he's going to be able to just, again, another one of these statements that he doesn't make himself, and think that people are going to take note of it and take it seriously. Well, I have another thing. You have another thing coming there, old princely boy. Nobody believes you, okay? Nobody believes you at this point. So for him to sit up here and act like, oh, I'm angry, I'm bewildered, nobody contacted me, when Jeffrey Berman went public, basically, he stood there in front of the whole world and said that this guy's not cooperating in a move that definitely veers away from usual standard protocol for the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI. For him to do that, it must be significant stonewalling going on from Andrew's camp. So we're going to jump into this article and see what it has to say. The article is from the New York Post. The headline, Prince Andrew bewildered by claims he wouldn't help FBI's Epstein probe. The author of the article is Lee Brown, and it was published January 29th, 2020, 7:43 a.m. Prince Andrew insists he is willing to talk to the FBI about his pedophile pal Jeffrey Epstein and is angry and bewildered at being publicly accused of refusing to help, according to a report. See, I love that stuff. According to a report. Okay, well, who's reporting it? Who talked to him? Who in his circle said this? Don't say an unnamed source. We want to know exactly who is enabling him. The 59-year-old royal was completely caught off guard by the claims Monday that U.S. authorities had tried to interview him but received zero cooperation, sources close to him told the Telegraph. Who are these sources, Telegraph? Why don't they go on record? Why are they only sources when they talk about Prince Andrew? Are they worried about getting their name dragged through the mud? They should be. If you're still associating with this man and you're still part of his inner circle, part of his privy council, well, you're a pretty horrible person as well. All right? How about that? How about I just label you like that right here, right now, for everybody to hear? If you're protecting Prince Andrew, you're a scummy piece of shit. That's my opinion. Don't even bother trying to change my mind. Nothing could be further from the truth, one source told the paper. The Duke is more than happy to talk to the FBI, but he hasn't been approached by them yet. He is angry about the way this is being portrayed and bewildered as to why this was said in New York. It seems certain people are jumping the gun. Jumping the gun? Jumping the gun. Bro, you have been covered by this cloud for years. Okay? And if Epstein never got arrested again, none of this would have ever come out, and you would have been scot-free. You and your friend Ghislaine would have been having your picnics and doing whatever it is that you did on the lawn. All right? You're angry and you're bewildered that people are jumping the gun. Nobody's jumping the gun. It's high time that you face justice, my friend. It's high time that you stand tall before the man. All right? And your princely blood be damned, okay? Andrew, who was booted from royal duties over his disastrous attempts to justify his links to Epstein, has been holding weekly meetings with a special team of lawyers helping him prep for potential interviews, the sources said. What does that even mean? So he needs a team of lawyers to prep for an interview for something he didn't do? Look, just be honest, homie. What do you need all the preparation for? I get it. I know what's going on. They're stalling because they're waiting for their boy Dershowitz to come in on his white horse and save the day. Well, okay, maybe that's not going to happen, but you see where I'm going with that, right? I mean, I don't understand what this even means. A team of lawyers helping him prep for potential interviews? Just be honest, bro. Just be honest. You don't need to do any kind of prep. You don't need a whole team of lawyers. Sit down with whoever your lawyer is, and you and him discuss what's going to occur and figure it out. Anything short of that, you're being a scumbag and you're not standing tall. You obviously don't have any honor, but this guy has to answer questions at this point. There is no way that this guy can get away without answering questions. Royal sources believe Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman's press conference outside Epstein's mansion Monday was a publicity stunt to try and force Andrew to come forward, the report says. Why would they need to have a publicity stunt for this man to come forward? He's already said that he would speak to the authorities. He went on record and said that with Emily Maitlis, but yet he has not spoken to anybody. Why does he need to be compelled to come forward? Why don't you just come forward yourself? Hop in your car after you get done at the pizza place, okay? Hop in your car, have one of your toadies drive you to the American Embassy or wherever the FBI is going to interview you, have your interview, and put this in your past. Isn't that what you wanted to do with the Emily Maitlis interview, Prince Andrew? Didn't you want to put a line under this and move on? Well, here's your chance. Go and talk to the FBI. Man up, homie. The Duke of York, in fact, is eager to clear things up so he can support his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, in her hour of need as she leans on him after the bitter blow of Megxit. Sources said. They're sick people. Honestly, I'm sorry, my English listeners. I love all of you. I love your country. England's a fantastic place. Don't get me wrong, but this monarchy business, you guys, well, what is going on with this? You guys got to get rid of these people. Rein these people in. So the bitter blow of Megxit, that's the big blow. That's the big riff in the family because this kid and his wife want to split. That's the big problem, huh? The problem isn't that Andrew, who the Queen is obviously leaning on, okay, that's nice. The problem isn't that Andrew was involved with Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking ring. The problem isn't that Andrew is being credibly accused by Virginia Roberts of partaking in that abuse. That isn't the problem. The problem is Megxit. Get your shit together, royals. Come on now. The Duke accepts he made a big mistake by continuing to see Epstein after he was convicted and for not showing sufficient empathy for the girls involved, the source said. Again, the source, this source, that source. Everyone has a source. How about Prince Andrew comes out and says this? Why doesn't he come out and say this? He has to have his source say it? What, he's above owning up to the fact that he's a dirtbag? Obviously he is. Because, when you've grown up the way that Prince Andrew has grown up, you can never be wrong, folks. You are never in the wrong. Who's going to tell the Prince of England he's wrong? Certainly not his mother. His mother, busy running the country. Okay, so what was he raised by? Nannies and butlers and who the hell knows who else? This guy has no honor. Okay, he is not an honorable man. I don't care what he says. And he certainly does not give a spit about the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. He doesn't give one goddamn hoot about it. He is desperate to make up for it and is committed to the legal process. The attorney's office in New York stood by its claims. In light of the statement Prince Andrew issued, I just feel it's appropriate to say we've made several attempts to contact his representatives, a spokesperson told The Telegraph. Again, I'm not the biggest supporter of the Justice Department in America, as everyone who listens to this podcast is aware of. I am not a fan of the two-tiered justice system either. But what I do know is this. People like Berman, when they're pressured, they feel like they have to make moves. When the public pressures people like this, they feel like they have to take it seriously because it's about survival. They want to make sure that they keep their job. That's all they really care about. Don't get it twisted. I'm not making Berman out to be some hero because I highly doubt that that's going to be the case, folks. But what I will say is this. That office, the SDNY office, is feeling a lot of pressure to make some headway in this case. There's no doubt about that. Andrew came under fire for staying at Epstein's New York home even after the long-accused pedophile had been convicted of child sex offenses. Accuser Virginia Roberts has also said she was made to have sex with the prince 3 times, claims which he and Buckingham Palace have always denied. Epstein, 66, hanged himself, allegedly, in a lower Manhattan lockup August 10th while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. All right, folks, so the question becomes, who do you believe? Do you believe Prince Andrew, or do you believe the FBI and Attorney General Berman? Frankly, I don't believe anything Andrew says, so I'm leaning towards the prosecution. In this case, I'm leaning towards Berman and his office of being honest about what they're doing and what their process is especially in regards to Prince Andrew. So that's where I stand on this, folks. Where do you stand? Why don't you shoot me some emails? Let me know what you think about Prince Andrew. Shoot me an email at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. Also, if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link inside of the description box. All right, folks, I'll be back later on with an evolution episode, and I will also be back with the usual daily drop. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday, and remember, folks, hold on tight. Only a few days till the weekend. You can get there. All right, everybody, enjoy your day. I'll talk to you later.